What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying your lives to the fullest today. Today we are reviewing the 2023 Ford Escape Platinum. Huge thank you to Matt Newman over at Koons Sterling Ford for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you guys are interested in this particular Escape or any Ford product, I'll be sure to have Matt's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. All right, let's just jump right into the video. So the Escape for 2023 did get a full redesign from the exterior on into the interior. And as we progress along into this video, you guys will see exactly what I'm talking about. But first, let's talk about the exterior and performance. So like I said, this is a 2023 Ford Escape Platinum Hybrid. And this particular one has been painted in the beautiful $495 Rapid Red metallic paint, which in my opinion really suits the Platinum very, very nicely. So like I just mentioned, for 2023, the Escape did get a redesign from the outside into the inside. So basically what you guys get redesigned for 2023 in layman's terms, basically you get a bigger grille, new headlights, new bumper, new hood, new taillights, etc. And I will point those out as we progress along into this video again. But with the Platinum, you guys do get these sleek LED headlights with automatic high beams. You also do get LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals, a coast-to-coast light bar, which is again new for 2023, as well as LED fog lights towards the bottom and side of your front bumper. Now, working our way to the center of the front end, starting from the top, this is that coast-to-coast light bar that I was just mentioning, and then below that, this is a new grille again for 2023, and it's basically like a satin black L design front grille. And what I mean by the L design is like these kind of things look like an L, and then these are like a backwards L, and again those are satin black. And then you guys do get a gloss black grille surround, and then you have your Ford logo located at the center of that front grille, and then at the bottom of your Ford logo is where you will find your forward facing camera. That forward facing camera goes along with your 360-degree view camera system that comes standard on the Platinum. And then I guess one thing I wanted to point out is that you guys do get a more angular front bumper for the 2023 model year as opposed to the 2022. The 2022 was more rounded. The headlights were more rounded on the 2022, so I definitely think that this is a more muscular design, and I think it looks a lot better in my opinion. But working our way down to the bottom of the front end, you guys do get a satin black lower grille with a gray accent trim piece below, as you may be able to tell right here, that runs along the bottom of the front end. And then you guys do get 6 forward facing sensors total on the front end of the Escape Platinum. So that is 1, that is 2, that's 3, 4, 5, and then 6 right over there. And then taking a look at our fog light surrounds, it's the same thing on the other side as well. You get a black fog light surround with a chrome accent trim piece on the left hand side, and I believe it's on the right hand side on this side, as you may be able to tell. And then if you guys were wondering about ground clearance with the Escape, you guys get 7.5 inches of ground clearance with the 2023 Ford Escape. And like I mentioned, you guys get that satin black lower grille, which leads nicely into your satin black wheel arch moldings, which can be found on top of all 4 of your wheels and tires. Speaking of the wheels, these are the only wheel option you guys can get with the Platinum, and they are a 19-inch machine face with gray pocket wheel, and they are wrapped in 225/55 Bridgestone Ecopia all-season tires. I'll give you guys a view of the tread pattern on those tires real quick. That is what your tires look like. And again, that is another look at the only wheel option that you guys can get again with the Platinum. You guys do get rain sensing wipers as standard with the Platinum, as well as body color mirror caps. And these side view mirrors are heated, they're power adjustable, they are manual folding. You get your blind spot monitoring on the upper left hand side of your driver's side mirror, and then over there on the upper right hand side of your passenger side mirror, and then all the way at the bottom of the mirror is where you'll find your side view camera. Again, that side view camera works along with your 360-degree view camera system that you guys get with the Platinum as standard. This is a little side profile action of the 2023 Escape. Side profile looks very similar-ish to the 2022. There are a couple of differences. Again, obviously with the front end, you guys can see that the headlights are not so rounded as the 2022 was. And then you guys can see also that the taillights are just a tad bit different than what you find on the 2022 model year. But working our way from the top to the bottom, you guys do get satin black roof rails, as you may be able to tell. Then you guys get chrome window trim. You also get body color door handles with keyless access. Just keep in mind that the keyless access function is only on your front two doors. So if you guys want to unlock the vehicle, just have your key fob in your pocket, put your hand behind the door handle, and the vehicle will unlock. You guys can also lock the vehicle by running your finger across these hash marks, both on the bottom of the door handle and on the top. And then another way that you guys can unlock and lock the vehicle as well is this keypad right here. Remember your code, type in your code, that will unlock the vehicle. And then if you want to lock the vehicle again, press these 7, 8, and 9-0 buttons simultaneously, and that will lock the Escape. And then last but not least, on the side, you guys do get some satin black cladding at the bottom of your passenger doors, and that is a closer look at that satin black cladding. Again, leads nicely into your satin black wheel arch moldings. Above your satin black wheel arch moldings on the driver's side, that is where you will find your fuel door. I believe you do have to press a button on the interior in order to pop that open. There is a little bit of a delay, so I press the button and now it opens up, and that reveals your capless filler neck down in there. And then working our way back up to the top, you do get a satin black shark fin antenna up here, as well as a body color roof spoiler with your integrated LED third brake light right up top there. Let's do a little booty shot of the Escape. That is what she looks like for 2023 back here. And then just below your third brake light is where you will find your intermittent rear wiper. You also do get a rear window defroster. And then below your intermittent rear wiper, that's your Ford logo. And then you have your chrome Escape lettering, chrome platinum badging, and then like a mix of black and chrome for your hybrid all-wheel drive badge, which is on the lower right-hand side of your power liftgate. You also do get LED taillights back here as well. But like I mentioned, you get a power liftgate. So all you got to do to open up the power liftgate, before I open up the power liftgate, just above or just below this A right here is where you will find your backup camera. But again, if the vehicle is locked, just make sure you have your key fob in the pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand under this C right here, press on that pad, and the power liftgate will open up to reveal a decent amount of storage space back here. So this isn't like the most amount of storage space that I've seen in a trunk area before. However, you can fit what you need to in here, aside from, you know, bigger items. I would say you could probably fit maybe 4 or 5 carry-on suitcases back here if you stacked one on top of the other and then one like sideways like that. So very good amount of storage space back here, considering that this is a somewhat compact SUV. But then on the left-hand side of the trunk, you get a 12-volt power outlet as well as a grocery bag holder. You do not get a grocery bag holder on this side. However, you do get a little subwoofer. I believe that is what that is back here. And then there are a couple options that this one does have back here, and they're basically just accessories. So this one does have the $200 floor mats as well as the $100 cargo net, which is this right here. And then this also does have the $135 cargo shade, which I believe is this right here. So this is your cargo shade. That is a look at that. And then your floor mats, I think these are the ones that come standard. They're carpeted. And then these are the ones that you pay for, the basically all weather mats. They're basically rubber. And then underneath all of that stuff, you lift this up. That is where you'll find your spare tire, your jack, and pretty much all the stuff that you need if you get a flat tire on the road. Again, to change your tire. You get a little light right here, but it is not on at the moment, and I'm not quite sure how to turn that on. Maybe it turns on at night by itself, like automatically. But to close the liftgate, all you got to do is press this button right here, and then the liftgate will begin to drop. And then working our way on down, let's take a look at the rear bumper. So you guys get 2 reflectors back here, one on the driver's side, one over there on the passenger side. You also do get a satin black rear bumper with 6 integrated sensors back here. So I'll point those out to you guys. That is 1, that is 2, that's 3, 4, 5, and 6 for, again, 6 total rear view sensors back here, which is very nice when you guys are backing into tight parking spaces. And then you guys do get a gray rear valance back here with a dual exhaust. And then this particular one has been optioned with the $495 Class 2 trailer tow package. And basically got what you guys get with that is this hitch. You get these little hook things right here, as well as a 4-pin connector. And if you guys were wondering about the max tow capacity of the 2023 Escape Platinum Hybrid, it is 1,500 pounds. So basically what you guys can pull is like a jet ski, maybe one side-by-side, maybe one four-wheeler, but this is the same tow capacity found in the video I did yesterday with the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek. So let me know what you guys think of the exterior design for the 2023 Ford Escape. In my personal opinion, I think it looks a lot better than the 2022 model year, but again, that is a subjective opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, but let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder that works with a 94 kilowatt electric motor. Total output is 200 horsepower and 155 pound-feet of torque. That motor is mated to a eCVT for a 0 to 60 time in 8.7 seconds. If you guys were wondering about fuel economy, you guys can get an amazing 42 miles per gallon in the city, 36 miles per gallon on the highway for 39 miles per gallon combined with all-wheel drive. I think those fuel economy numbers are really, really good. And honestly, this thing is really, really nice, especially considering what it is at its price point. But if you guys are enjoying this video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I just hit 10,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for that. But now that we've hit 10,000 subscribers, we are on the journey to 100K. So again, if you guys are enjoying the video, thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. But let's move into the interior. Moving into the interior, like I mentioned to you guys earlier on in the video, you do get keyless access. So all you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and the vehicle will unlock. You can also lock the vehicle by running your finger across these couple hash marks here, and now the vehicle is locked. However, there are a couple ways that you guys can get into the interior. You can either use the keyless access way, you can unlock the vehicle from the button on your key fob, or you can remember your key code right here, type in your key code, and that will also let you into the vehicle as well. However, I did want to show you guys a couple of the functions on the key fob. So like any other key fob that Ford gives you, you have your unlock function, your lock function, your remote start function, your power liftgate function, and your panic function. That is a look at the key fob. So now let's move into the interior and let's take a look at the driver's side door panel. So from about right here all the way up is vinyl wrapped. You get some brushed aluminum trim. You get an aluminum door handle. You get your unlock and your lock functions. Then you get 3 memory seat adjustment settings. Pressing on this button will restrict your passenger window privileges. This little circle here and then these 2 buttons are to control your side view mirrors. Again, they are power adjustable. You get automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners, and then you get a nicely padded and leather wrapped armrest with some accent colored stitching. You get a little reflector there, and then you got a couple spots you can set a water bottle. So you can set a Deer Park water bottle right here, you could set another water bottle there, and then you get a little bit of miscellaneous storage space down here that you could set your phone if you wanted to as well. But taking a look at the driver's seat, this particular Platinum has been optioned with the $1,910 premium technology package, and what that gives you guys are these leather trimmed seats with the quilted design. So you guys can see that quilting in the seats. You get a 10-way power front driver's seat and a 6-way power front passenger seat. But let's step into the interior, and I did gloss over one thing. So this also, like I just mentioned, has the premium technology package, and what that also gives you is this 10-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system with a subwoofer. But moving into the interior, you guys may be able to immediately tell what is new for the 2023 model year. So now you guys get a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, as well as a 13.2-inch infotainment system, again for 2023. This is the Platinum, so this does get both of them. However, if you guys get the lower trim levels, this becomes an option, and I believe what you guys get is like an 8-inch screen, and it is still Sync 4 with the wireless CarPlay and stuff. But I do want to show you guys what the startup theme is like. So make sure you have your key fob in the interior, push your foot down on the brake, and then push to start. And then watch what happens. That's the light bar. That's basically your LED signature lighting. And really, that is what it is like when you guys start the vehicle. So I'm going to close the door, and give me 1 second. I'm going to take the sock off my camera so it doesn't overheat. All right, wind sock is off the camera, so we should be good to go. I'm going to start over here, work our way into the passenger side, and then into those rear seats. So coming over here, pressing on that button will open and or close your power lift gate. That is to open up your fuel filler door. Here are your headlight controls all the way up, headlights off. That is daytime running lights on, as well as your coast-to-coast LED strip. That is headlights in automatic, and then all the way down is headlights always on. Pressing on that button will turn your fog lights on or off. I like to leave it in headlights automatic personally. And then just to the right of that, that is to dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. And then this is to brighten your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. You get a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And what I mean by that is that the steering wheel will come towards you, it'll go away from you, and then it'll also move up and down. That is what I mean by tilting and telescoping. Then let's take a look at our turn signal stock. That is what the turn signal stock looks like. Now let's hear what it sounds like. That is what your turn signal sounds like in the 2023 Escape Platinum. And then on the right hand side, you have your windshield wiper control stock for your front wipers and your rear wiper. And then zooming back, this is what your steering wheel looks like. It is leather wrapped and it is also heated. Got your Ford logo located at the center of it, but let's take a listen to the horn. That is what the horn sounds like for the 2023 Escape. And then over here, above this little trim piece, these are all your adaptive cruise control settings. That's volume down, that's volume up. That is to speak to the vehicle. And then that is to pick up on a phone call as well as hang up on a phone call, back on a track, forward on a track. And then up top here, these controls are to control your 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. So we might as well jump right into it. So this is a look at the new gauge cluster for 2023 in the Escape Platinum. So on the left-hand side, this is kind of like the RPM gauge replacement. So you can see where it says 0 kind of to the left-hand side, right about there. This, when it comes over here, that means you're using the power. And when it's blue, that means you're just using the electric motor. And then when it turns gray, that means you're using the gas-powered motor. And then when it comes down to like here in green, that's basically like your regenerative brakes, if that makes sense. So basically that's like 100% of the power use, that's 0% of the power use. And then down here, you get your coolant temperature gauge. E lets us know that we're facing in an easterly direction, so that is your compass. That is your odometer. And then at the center down here, that lets you know your transmission status, what gear you're in. That is your fuel range. And then right here is your fuel gauge. That's your fuel pump pointing to the left-hand side of the vehicle. That means you fill the vehicle up with gas on the driver's side. And then all the way down here is your ambient exterior temperature. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is that I went to the gas station to fill this thing up, and I'm starting to do this now with hybrid vehicles just to see how far of range I can get with 1.5 gallons of fuel. So I filled this thing up with 1.5 gallons, or like $5.20. And I basically got, I think like, what was it? Like 42, I think it was about 41 miles of range with $5. So I think that is really good in my opinion, because I basically in my daily driver get less than half of that with $5. So it's very nice to see that. But this is one of your screens. You guys can scroll down. I'm using this right here to go throughout my different screens. So this is like your calm screen, basically just gives you your digital speedometer readout and your fuel range. Go down one more and that brings you back into this screen. You can also go into your EV coach, tire pressure stuff, calm screen, trip one, again, EV coach, and all that kind of stuff. If you guys want to go further throughout this screen, you can press this menu button here, and then that will bring you into this screen, which basically starts with My View. So you can configure the My View if you wanted to. So you can, you know, put this stuff on. You can take that stuff off. So basically you can put your fuel economy on that My View screen that I was just on. So basically I'll show you that My View screen. So this is the My View screen. You got your calm, trip information, etc., etc. So you can adjust that again when you guys configure the My View thing. So going down one, this is like your trip one, trip two, this trip, fuel economy, eco behavior, and EV coach. You can go into your status information, so you can see the power distribution, you can see the trailer light status and the seatbelt status. Going back into this screen, that's kind of about it. Go down, you can go to vehicle maintenance, audio stuff, navigation stuff, phone stuff, settings, and this does again have the $1,910 premium technology package, which gives you guys this head-up display. So basically, you can adjust the head-up display in the screen down here. So you can go into it, you can turn it on, you can turn it off, and then with it on, right now it is on, give it a minute, you can adjust the position, the brightness, and the vertical size. Go back, you can also adjust the content of which you display on that screen. So right now, it's basically just showing incoming call, navigation stuff, speed assistance, and speed sign recognition, which is basically like your digital speedometer readout. I'm not sure how well you guys are gonna see it on screen right now, but basically that is like your navigation stuff right about there. That is your like basically lane keeping stuff, and then all the way that's your speed limit sign. So yeah, that's kind of it for that screen. We can go out of that screen here, and then yeah, you can adjust again the content that you display on that screen. But really, that's kind of about it for this screen. There's not really much else that you guys can do. But yeah, that's basically a walkthrough of the the digital speedometer readout. Working our way over to here. This again is all new for 2023, and this is the new Sync 4 13.2-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation, as well as wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. One gripe that I do have with the new Escape is that your climate control stuff is all now throughout the screen rather than physical buttons. I always like to have a physical, at least, fan knob, but again, all that stuff is now throughout the screen, which, you know, it's actually relatively easy to use because it's all down here. But personally, for me, I like physical buttons. So I'm going to go into the home screen on this, and then this is what your home screen looks like. Navigation stuff, get your audio stuff. This is the CarPlay stuff. And then you get your settings, features, and apps up top here. That is the ambient exterior temperature. That lets me know that CarPlay is connected. That is the time. And again, that is your home button up top there. We can go into CarPlay. I'll show you guys what CarPlay looks like. Now for 2023, or just a recent over-the-air update, you guys now have full screen Apple CarPlay, which is what this looks like. If you guys don't want it to be full screen, you can do this split screen with the Apple CarPlay stuff and like the Ford stuff over here. So starting from the top, you get your audio stuff, then you got your navigation stuff, your phone stuff, your Trip 1 stuff, and your fuel economy stuff. But again, you can go into full screen, which now takes up the entire screen, which looks really awesome on Waze. But yeah, that's about it for that. We'll go back into the home screen, and then down here again are all your climate control stuff. With the Platinum, you guys do get heated front seats and a heated steering wheel. Heated front seats get 3 levels of adjustability. The heated steering wheel gets 1 level of adjustability, either on or off. This is your heated seat function. That is what it looks like. You can turn it right back off very, very easily by pressing this off button here. But if you guys want the climate control to take up the entire screen, click on this button, and now the climate control will take up the whole screen. And then this is what your climate control screen looks like. I can turn it on, I can turn it off by that button up top there. But then if you guys want to close back out of that, click on that button and it will close. You can go in between your different feature stuff. So I'm going to show you guys your driver assistance features here for a second. So you get your adaptive cruise control, lane keep, speed limit assist, pre-collision assist with the braking and the steering, blind spot, cross traffic alert, reverse brake assist, and driver alert. Let's see what driver alert is. It notifies you when the vehicle detects that you are unattentive. But really, that's kind of about it for that screen. Working our way down to HVAC vents, you get your hazard button right there. This lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. That is to start the vehicle or turn the vehicle off. Pressing on this button, this is your active park assist 2.0. So basically this will park the vehicle for you, which is really cool. So you can do parallel parking, perpendicular parking, etc. and stuff like that. I'm going to turn that back off because I'm not really going to park it anywhere. And then up top here, that is to turn your front and rear parking sensors on or off. And then clicking on this button, you have an instant camera button, which basically pops up your 360-degree view camera. That is my forward-facing camera. However, if I threw this thing into reverse, this will now be my rear view camera with guidance lines. But again, that's your instant camera button. That is to turn the front defroster to max. And then all the way over here, you have your different drive modes. So if I press on that button, you have your normal mode, your eco mode, your sport mode, and your slippery mode. But again, pressing on that button right there. And then all the way over here on the passenger side, side, you have your volume knob up or down. Working our way down, as standard with the Platinum, you guys get a wireless charging pad. This is my iPhone 14 Pro Max, and it fits down in there no problem. And then you get a USB-C port, you get a USB-A port, as well as a 12-volt power outlet located there. And then you get a little bit of miscellaneous storage space just to the right of the wireless charging pad. So that's kind of about it for that. But again, my phone fits there. You get 2 cup holders. You get this rotary dial right here for your transmission. So if you go into drive, you press this L, that puts you into low. This is your electronic parking brake. This is your auto hold. Basically, if you guys are stuck in traffic and you're tired of holding your foot down on your brake by yourself, you press on that button and the vehicle will hold you in place with its braking system by itself. This is a great spot that you guys could set your key fob if you wanted to. Let me see. This is a key fob for a different vehicle, but you guys can see it fits down in there, no problem. And then you get a leather wrapped armrest that is nicely padded with some accent colored stitching. Opening this up, I would say that about 65% of my forearm fits down in there. So, you know, a decent amount of storage space down in there, but it's definitely not the biggest amount of storage space that I've seen on a vehicle before. Over here, you do not get a lockable glove box, but opening the glove box up, you have a good amount of storage space down in there. Then you get this silver, brushed silver trim piece. It feels like it's plastic. Vinyl wrapping all up top here. That looks like you got your Bang & Olufsen speaker up there. Auto dimming rear view mirror comes standard with the Platinum. And then you got your driver light, you got your passenger light, both are LED. And then here are your different light controls for whether you want the lights to turn on when you open up the door, whether you want the lights on by the push of a button, or if you want the lights off by the push of a button, you can do that. Great spot. You can set your sunglasses up top here, or you can put a taco in there if you wanted to as well. That is your Bluetooth mic pickup for your Bluetooth phone. You get a universal garage door opener with 3 different garage bays. So if you own a house with 3 different individual garage bays, you can open up those 3 different garage bays individually with those 3 different buttons. Opening this up, you guys get a vanity mirror with 2 vanity lights, as well as a little clip right here. You can set money, registration, or any small paper product. And then you get another one of those on this side of your visor as well. But opening up the visor, I want to show you guys that this does slide forwards and backwards just a little bit, but it does slide just a touch. This is a big visor, so you really don't need it to slide any more than it already does. And then the passenger side looks the exact same. And then the passenger gets an O-Poop handle, but the driver does not get an O-Poop handle. And really that's kind of about it for that. I apologize, I had to move the camera around a little bit. That's kind of about it for these front seats. I did want to go over a couple of things. So again, 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, and now 13.2-inch infotainment system, which is a Sync 4 system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. This particular one has been optioned with the $1,910 premium technology package, and what you guys get with that includes Active Park Assist 2.0, the 10-speaker B&O sound system with built-in subwoofer, HD radio, head-up display, leather seats with quilting. And then I'm going to go over a couple features that come standard with the Platinum. So you get the 360-degree view camera system, the blind spot information system with cross traffic alert. You get evasive steer assist, front and rear parking sensors, adaptive cruise control, reverse brake assist, and a wireless charging pad. Now, I did want to go over one option that this particular one does not have, but you guys could get if you wanted to, and that is the optional $1,595 panoramic roof, which you can see this one does not have. But now I'm going to throw the window sticker on screen. You guys can take a look at that. I'm going to go over the government safety ratings. You guys basically get 5 stars in every aspect except rollover, where you get 4 stars. And then basically you guys can take a look at the different optional stuff, the different standard stuff, and stuff like that. But basically I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2023 Ford Escape Platinum Hybrid is spec'd is $43,295. Let me know what you guys think of that price in the comment section down below. Really, I think that's a pretty good price considering what you get. But I do want to show you guys what's going on in those rear seats before we move into the driving portion of the review. So popping open that door, let's see what the rear seats have to offer. So taking a look at the door panel for the second row seats, looks very similar to what you would find in the front. Again, automatic up and down windows in the second row, aluminum door handle. Get a little bit of miscellaneous storage space down here. You could set a phone, and then you get a spot you could set a Deer Park water bottle right there. This is what the rear seats look like back here. Again, the quilted leather does follow through to the back. If I pull on this, that will drop these second row seats, and I believe you may be able to recline them as well. Let's see. Okay, so you do get a decent bit of reclinability as well with these seats. I am adjusted behind myself. I am 5'9". I've got plenty of leg room, plenty of knee room. However, you do not get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. I've got also plenty of headroom. Again, I am 5'9". I am reclined, by the way, but I am 5'9". Let's go back up to my normal position, which would probably be about right there. Still have quite a bit of headroom. Get an O-Poop handle. You get a spot you can set your dry cleaning. You also get a dome light over here. Same thing for the passenger side. You only get the seat back pocket behind the passenger's seat. 2 HVAC vents, and then down here you get 2 USB-C ports. So good amount of connectivity back here. And then you do get a center fold down armrest that is nicely padded. It is leather wrapped, and you get 2 cup holders. But you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, guys, and now onto the driving portion of the review, where this thing actually drives very, very nicely. But as you know, if you guys watch any of my other videos, we go over these speed bumps at 5 miles an hour. And then we rate them going over the speed bumps on a scale of 1 to 10. So it did very well over the first one. Now let's see how it does here on the second one. So again, 5 miles an hour. I'm gonna give this thing an 8 flat. It actually did very well over those speed bumps. What I did want to say is that the transition between the electric motor and the gas is so seamless. Like, I did a video, and I keep calling this out in every hybrid video I do, but I keep calling out the Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe. Give me a second. But like I was saying, I keep calling out the Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe. And the reason being is that the transition between the gas motor and the electric motor in that was just, it was a little too clunky for me. And I had to be honest, like, it wasn't seamless. Whereas Ford has really gotten their game down packed with the Escape and pretty much all their hybrids. They do a very good job at really making the transition between the electric to the gas very, very seamless, which is very nice. And I was just in a Toyota Crown the other day, which is the new basically hybrid sedan SUV type wagon looking thing. It's kind of like a mix of all three, and that also did a very good job transitioning from the electric to the gas. Like when they you know, the turn signal is actually very quiet when they transition from when the electric motor is pushing you to when the gas powered motor starts pushing you. So yeah, Ford does a great job with that. Now that I've tested one of their hybrid vehicles out, Jeep, excuse me, has to work on their transition between the electric and the gas, like when it, you know what I'm talking about. But Ford does a very good job at that. And also, what I do now is that I fill these vehicles up, and I only fill them up, and I'm talking about hybrids that I do videos with. I only fill them up with 1.5 gallons of fuel. And basically the reason for that is I want to see how many miles of range that I can get with just $5 and 1.5 gallons of fuel. So basically what I got for just over $5 and 1.5 gallons of fuel was about 40 some, 41, 42-ish miles of range, again, with just $5 worth of gas. And one thing that I noticed about the fuel range in this is that it's an actual range. Like, it says 49 miles till empty, and once you drive a mile it deducts 1 mile. So it, like certain vehicles, it says, oh, you got 50 miles of range, but then you drive 1 mile and it drops 3 miles. It's like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. So Ford, I've actually been keeping track of the fuel range to actually how far we've driven, and I would say that it's actually pretty accurate. So definitely appreciate that, because, you know, how are you going to trust a vehicle's fuel range if you drive a mile and the range drops 3 miles? That doesn't make sense to me. And another thing I wanted to say is that I know, like, at least here in the United States, and I'm sure in other parts of the world, we have a big EV push. And I honestly think that we are not ready to go to full EVs. At least I personally right now, I would not buy an EV. And the reason being is that it takes you like 45 minutes to an hour to supercharge your Tesla from 0 to full. You know, 45 minutes, that's just way too long for me to sit. I'm like a very antsy person, so I just want to be able to fill up and go. And that is why I think hybrids is where we need to start, or are where we need to start. Reason being is that you can get over 40 some miles to the gallon in the city with this car, right? But all I got to do is go to a gas station. It takes me literally 2 minutes to fill this thing up from empty to full, and I'm on my way again, and I have a really good amount of fuel range with, you know, the hybrid. So another thing I wanted to mention is that you can also just get the EcoBoost engine with the Platinum, so you don't have to get the hybrid. This one just happens to have the hybrid, and if you guys end up getting the hybrid over the EcoBoost, the hybrid is actually cheaper than the EcoBoost, and it also gets better fuel economy. And what I wanted to mention is that you can also get all-wheel drive with the hybrid like we have here today, whereas on the Ford Maverick, if you guys get the hybrid, you can only get it in front-wheel drive. However, with the Escape, if you get the hybrid, you can get it with all-wheel drive, which is very, very nice. And I think that would be a reason for more people to get the hybrid, because they don't have to worry about, you know, having only front wheel drive, because you can get all wheel drive with it, which is very, very nice. So I think that Ford did a great job with that, but I'll give you guys a second to hear what it sounds like at 55. Sound deadening wise, it does a great job. It's actually pretty darn quiet in here at that speed. I might get over into this lane, but yeah, as you guys could see, it's pretty quiet at 55 miles an hour. Another thing I wanted to mention was the sound system. So the sound system actually sounds really good. The only thing about it is that if you guys like bass in your music, it doesn't really have all that much bass, and that is something that is kind of a characteristic of the Bang & Olufsen sound systems, and I guess the Revel sound systems that Ford uses in their Lincolns. They really don't have all that much bass, but they do have a very good clarity. Another thing is they're not quite loud enough for me. Like, I wish I could really get it loud, but they're not like a really, really loud sound system. However, they still sound really, really good, and they're loud enough for the majority of people. You know, I'm just nitpicking at this point, but it's just something that I thought you guys might want to know if you guys really like sound systems and stuff like that. Like, my mom has a 2020 Mazda Miata RF GT, and that car has a Bose sound system, and that sound system absolutely bumps. It's got great clarity, it's got great bass, and that's kind of what I wanted to lead me into, is that comparing like the F-150's Bang & Olufsen sound system to like the 8-speaker Bose in GMs, whether you're getting a Sierra or a Silverado, I personally like the Bose sound systems better, because I think they got the bass, they got the clarity, and they're just a better sound system, and I feel like I can turn them up, leave them up higher for longer periods of time over the course of years. I feel like I can beat up the Bose a little bit more than I can beat up the Bang & Olufsen sound system, if that makes sense to you guys. But overall, this is a really, really nice vehicle. I mean, it drives great. I love the new redesign, both from the exterior to the interior's perspective for the 2023 model year. I think they did a great job. Overall, I love the Sync 4 system. I really like the new digital display that you guys get, and overall, it's just a great driving vehicle. I think it looks great, I think it drives great, and I think the hybrid is a great option for those of you guys who are looking for a nice SUV that gets really good fuel economy, but also like drives nicely as well. And I think this thing also drives very, very nicely. Yes, it's not the most powerful thing in the world, but I'm going to show you guys a little acceleration once this light turns green, as I get straightened out on this turn here. Basically what I'm going to do is floor it. All right, and now we're floored. So again, not the fastest, not the most powerful thing that you guys have probably ever driven, but I would say for the majority of those of you guys who are buying one of these, I think you'll be plenty happy with the power. And if you're not happy with the power, you can always get the EcoBoost engine. Again, it's going to cost you like $1,000 more, but it's going to obviously give you more power. But with the more power comes the draw, you do get less fuel economy. So if you guys are going for fuel economy, you don't really care that much about power, then the hybrid is the way to go. If you guys want the power, and you don't really care as much about fuel economy, I mean, the EcoBoost still gets really, really good fuel economy. It's just obviously not quite as good as the hybrid. So it's just dependent on what you want. Ford offers you both. You want the power, get the EcoBoost. You want the fuel economy, get the hybrid, which is, again, what we have here today. I'll do another little acceleration, nothing crazy. But it accelerates, you know, more than quick enough, really, for those of you guys who aren't like power freaks. So, you know, if you want a lot of power, well, then you're not going to buy this car. But if you want a little bit more power, you're going to want to get the EcoBoost. But overall, man, I think this thing's got good enough power, really, for what you get, especially considering the fuel economy. I mean, this thing gets really, really good fuel economy. So honestly, I think that those horsepower figures, you know, may not be the best in the world, but really, this thing's got more than enough acceleration for those of you guys who don't really care about power. That is what the 2022 Escape looks like, and you guys can compare that. I think this one definitely looks better. Again, that is a subjective opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But I feel like I touched on everything that I needed to touch on. Overall, this thing drives very, very nicely, and it also gets great fuel economy. But if you guys took anything from this video, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I'm really trying to hit now 100,000 subscribers. I know that is a ton more subscribers than I have now, but we do have to start somewhere. I remember when I was at 1,000, I was like, oh, we got to get to 10,000. And now that I've eclipsed 10,000 subscribers, I am now on the journey to 100,000. So again, if you guys took anything from this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.